remember she telling us how she carried her pot, walked, because that time in those days there were no availability of cars. These are people or women that has never given up in their life. They've made things for themselves. They keep, so now as at their age they still keep on doing it, and they've held their families together with this effort. So why can't I do it? So I'm telling you, why can't you also do it? Hi fashionistas, me Seki Sisi. Today I was just cleaning and tidying up my environment, and this content pops up in my mind, and I'm like, no, I just have to make this video right now before I keep on procrastinating, or I don't ever record or forget about this idea at all. So my message is just simple. I'm in a state, as most of you will know already, as my followers will know already, I'm in a state where I'm rebuilding my life. If you want to know more about my story, you can go through my page and my videos, watch them, and please remember to leave a like, comment, and if possible share. Okay, why do you want to give up? I was talking to myself whilst cleaning this morning, and I realized my greatest support or my greatest strength have been derived from being with a narcissistic partner. And why do I say this? We mostly talk about narcissistic people, how they treat us, how they do this A and B, how you can neglect them, how you can leave them. Most of the time our conversation is centered around these people, and we know how toxic they can be, and if all we do is to always talk about how we can live with them, how we can squeeze ourselves, how it's always about them. So right now I was talking about, I've thought of this before actually, but today I was going through my memories. Yes, I had a dad, a fantastic dad in my life, and uncles actually, but their impact on me personally, my life hasn't been that much, except for my dad that paid my fees, comforted me, pampered me. I don't really see more impact. Yes, they be impactful in their ways, but I mostly found myself around the women, my aunties, my uncles' wives, my mom, my grandmothers. And one thing that really helped me all these years, or why I'm even doing this video right now, is that I was just thinking about how courageous, how things are being difficult for me right now, and I know my narcissistic partner could be of help, right? But I'm just going through my memories. There are a lot of things I'm struggling to do right now that years back he could have done them, or he did most of them, and today I realized, oh okay, this is how it was. It's like he gave me that comfort, and that was why I got stuck at some point with him, regardless of how bad I was being treated, how words were being used on me, how I was molested, and the rest. So I'm like, okay, so that means my strength was derived from this woman in my life. My mother's mom is a Ghanaian who hailed from the north and settled at the south, right? She settled at the south, and I remember she told us her story of migrating from the north with her pot, a very big pot, which is still with her right now. I'm not close to her. I would have shown you how big this pot is. And she told me she sold pito. So pito is a drink, local drink from the north. I remember she telling us how she carried her pot, walked, because that time in those days there were no availability of cars like today, and she has to carry this, migrate from the north, walk her way through the south to come and sell pito. She bought lands and she was able to make up structures on it, which was impressive in her era, right? And this land is the same land most of my uncles, my dad, my aunties are still staying on. They've also built theirs on, and even there are chances for me here, or we the grandchildren should also benefit from, and I'm sure her great grandchildren are also going to benefit from. I now reflect back to my mom's mom, who also hail from the border town, and her dad is from Ivory Coast. From that place to the big city around that side, which is Sunyani, to come and just be a help, and then finding herself her Prince Charming, who was a soldier, and she got the opportunity marrying him. They stayed at the barracks. She talks about how their life was, how they were pampered, how meat and everything was just enough for them. They had things abundant, to the extent that she brought in her younger brother to train him and took him to school to become a professional trained teacher. That is another a strength of story I've received from another grandmother. I then reflect back to my mom and my auntie. My mom is a woman I've not really stayed with for long, but anytime I visit her, I see her struggling from one job to another, one skill to the other. She's always trying to do something, and she's always forcing herself to do something. I've never in my entire life seen my mom being idle. So she has struggled through it, found her way, to the extent that she went into Galamsey and found herself gold and built a structure. And because of my sake, I'm not really the reason she didn't complete her structure. She had all the materials to complete, but long story short, a lot happened. I was supposed to go to school. I remember that day my mom hit her chest and said, I have to pay my child fee so that my child will go to school. I want my daughter to go to school, and if this building is going to be stuck because of she going to school, then I will do that. My mom said that in my presence, and she counted the money for me to be able to take to school that time. And later on, she got additional money to finish the work, but a whole lot went in. And today I go back to the village, I see her structure stranded, and I'm like, what can I do? I'm supposed to help her rebuild this, or put this thing together and bring it to an end, which I know I'm going to surely do. It's just a matter of time and me working harder, right? Then I reflect back to my auntie. My auntie is a professional hairdresser. She has been through so much from stages to stages, and I stayed with her most of my life, most of my years. So I saw her move from one stage to the other, and this woman still does this effortlessly. I've seen her most take loans upon loans, repaying them, and that notwithstanding, I go back to my uncle's wife, that's my father's elder brother's wife, Auntie Fati. She has been through so much. I see this woman struggling from one, selling water, selling sobolo, selling this. She's always trying to do something. I now reflect back to my auntie, my biggest auntie, Auntie Ladi. I've seen this woman so hawk throughout her life, and she does it till now effortlessly. And I'm like, okay, this is where my strength is being derived. Like, I'm being very emotional right now. These are people or women that has never given up in their life. They've made things for themselves. They keep, so now as at their age, they still keep on doing it, and they've held their families together with this effort. They were never shy. They never rely on anybody. They never listen to anybody and they are still doing it. So why can't I do it? So I'm telling you, why can't you also do it? Girl, boy, you can do it, okay? A narcissistic partner or a narcissistic person will always tell you you cannot do this without them, but I'm here trying to tell you that it's just the matter of believing in yourself and putting in the work. We will get there, okay? I think I'll end this short message here, and please, if you are new here, I'm called Miss Sekis, and all I'm doing is to rebuild my life, share, inspire, and educate you, and also update you on how I'm doing this process, my struggles, my joy, my tears, my laughter, and hopefully share my success with you here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for staying with me. If you've watched me to this far, please, you are a Sekine star, and please leave a comment, share if possible, and subscribe. Thank you. And remember, fashion with me is always without an apology. Until next time, it is bye.